glasses to the new 137 Java battery standard. The standard. The standard.
Hey, that's all good. All right then, Kerry, please may I ask you to draw the first envelope? I'm supposed to read that. Paula.
Kelly Dixon.
Please.
I remember them well.
Is it Paula Butler? Right, yeah. Paula, you'll need to be collecting your prize from over there very shortly, but I can tell you what it is. Do you want to know what it is? You've got a laptop. Paula's won a laptop.
So I'm going to rattle through it as quickly as I can and abbreviate it. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for attending today. It was great to see so many jumbos under one roof. It's been an incredibly emotional day today, and I feel that our objectives have all been achieved. The first one was getting the battery standard out for everybody to see, which I think you all agree is something of pure beauty. Secondly, we had the roll call, and we've remembered all those guys that we've sadly lost over the last few years. And thirdly, it's about getting us together again and having a great big jumbo party, which is really, really important. I've got loads of people to thank, and to be honest, there's so many folk that I would even here 15, 20 minutes, and I'd still end up missing people. However, I would just like to say to Steve Price, my right-hand man, the man on a Friday night, we get hammered opposite ends of the country, and we come up with all these daft ideas, and things like this happen, you know? So, pretty good. So Steve, I know that you think that I'm a tight jock, and I don't appreciate you, but I know that you love your whiskey, yeah? So Steve, I've got you a bottle of whiskey from the most southerly Scottish distillery. Could somebody give Steve the bottle of whiskey to prove that I am not a tight jock? There you go, Steve. We will share that later, pal. Right, so quickly, I'm just going to move on to some of the other events that we've got planned over the next year or so. So firstly, I'm assuming if we can get enough folk together that we come back again next year and do the same thing, a wee bit different, but we get everyone together, we come back to the Arboretum, we'll have a nice day and a nice evening like we're having today, except for maybe Aldo speak. Secondly, is we're planning on having a battery smoker early summer, which will be family friendly, because we really want to get some of the younger guys along, and I realise, some of them have got kids, some of you have got grandparents, bring them all along and we'll have a great big smoker together. And finally, we're working on a book on the history of the Java battery, which is going to take about 2 years to complete. So the plan is in 2023, is that right? 2023, we'll be back here and we'll have a book available for everybody. You'll be able to buy a copy of the Java history, and that'll be available for all of you. Anyway. Well, maybe no. But anyway, I would just like to thank you all for attending today, and you guys have made it special. We've got loads of different groups of jumbos that have all come together today and made it special. It's you guys that have done it. It's you lot. So please, attend. When we arrange future events, please come along and let's have a cracking time together. So, if you've all charged your glasses, if you'll be upstanding, I'd like to raise a wee toast to the jumbos. Jumbos. Right, I'm going to hand you over to you now. Oh, right now I can enjoy myself.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and what a fantastic day it's been so far. I'm a very, very proud Jumbo. I always have been. It's kind of in my blood. I love the Battery. But today, I have never, ever been so proud in my life to be part of this herd. It is absolutely amazing. And today in this hall, we have got some legends of the Jumbos. I won't go for every one of them, but there's some amazing people here today. And it's been fantastic. I'm just going to say a few thank yous. Obviously, the first thank you has to go to Callum and Brenda. What a job they have done. Absolutely amazing. Anybody that's trying to organise a function like this in their times in the army or whatever knows how difficult it is. But when we've been spread all over the country during COVID, he's not only organised the function here tonight and today, he's organised the standard that we saw this morning, and he's also been running the battery shop, so to speak, and he's raised absolutely loads and loads of money for the Battery. And him and Steve, again, congratulate Steve and Callum for doing the marathon over the hills the other week. I saw the photo at the end, and rather you than me, mate, absolutely brilliant. So on behalf of us all, we've got a couple of presents for you, Callum. So, Mick, if you'd like to take the presents over, can you take the whiskey and the...
That's it, small surprise,
Yeah, take them both down, yeah. And that's just a small, a little bit of appreciation for you, Callum and Brenda.
Steve, I didn't forget you either. Monkey shoulder.
Steve, pick the other one up.
That's
There are a few others about the time as well. I'd like to thank Angela McKenna Bruce.
Right, put one in the other hand.
Thank you myself.
Hold them up. Hold them up.
I'm not sharing it. Anybody want?
where's your hand, Carl?
Good evening all. Very conscious of being, I think, the last speaker between the herd and the bar. I will certainly make this quite short, and plus it will give Tojo far less time to heckle me. So it's a bit of a no-brainer, really. He started, didn't he? Firstly, can I just reiterate the thanks to everyone that Ewan has just laid out, particularly to Callum. Without doubt, Callum, without your energy and the glue to bring all this together, we wouldn't be here today. And what an incredibly special day and evening it has been. So sincere thanks to you and indeed the entire team that have made all of this possible. But secondly, thank you to all of you who have made it here today, particularly the Scottish contingent. I understand took about 9.5 hours to get down here, which might not seem unusual in terms of that level of exertion for a Scotsman to get to the bar, but for the standard of the rest of us, that is really quite significant. So well done you. Certainly that was much more exertion than it took me to get from Belgium. So well done you. But when you look around this room, I mean the attendance here tonight is far more than I would normally see at a regimental dinner night. So that the testament of you all here tonight just goes to show how dear we all hold the Battery, and also superb to see so many partners here tonight, because of course the whole Jumbo experience, the whole Jumbo story, is about families as much as it was those of us in uniform. So superb to see so many people here. I have been asked to just say a few words on what being a Jumbo means to me. And like many here tonight, I joined 137 Java Field Battery, as was at the time, straight from training. But in 1989, when I joined the Battery, it was still flush with stories of the voyage to the Falklands, albeit some years before, the days in Colchester, and indeed its tour of Belize, and the hardships of OP duty on Caribbean coral islands. When I joined in those days in Hona, it was still the end of the Cold War, And life was characterised by border patrols, active edge call-outs at 4 o'clock in the morning. The battery still had M109s, stalwarts when Jacko wasn't setting them on fire, 432s and Ferret scout cars, which made Paul Lakeland into some sort of photographic celebrity when the Americans saw us going to the Gulf and could not believe we were bringing equipment from the Second World War. I thought, I think you Brits might be slightly overconfident here. But no, that's fine. Yes. And indeed, routine in barracks in those days in Germany was characterised by time on the gun part, maintenance, things called CFTs, which were the sort of examinations of vehicles that junior officers were meant to run around and do and had absolutely no idea what they were doing. And I can remember at the time it slightly perplexed me why my troop sergeant major of the day approached this task with fully bulled boots and bits of cycle chain down the bottom of his lightweights to keep him straight. But such were the days in Germany. On exercise it was Soltau, Bergen-Hohner, Winkler's OP, batters, and of course medicine hat. And we've all got stories of wild battery smokers. There was a lot of adventure training, and we all used to head down to the Bavarian Alps for a thing called Snow Queen, which was putting squad eagles on skis without telling them how to stop. And you can imagine how that ended for most Germans that were idly loitering about the bottom of the lift. Social life revolved around the battery bar with 15 Fennig shots and a place called Micmacs. And I'd learned the battery song within a week of arriving. And I must admit, my thanks go out to Willie Henry for that. It did get serious every now and again, and on that first tour of mine, we went on my first combat operation, which was off Granby, off to the liberation of Kuwait in 1991. And of course that exposed to me the sacrifice that might demand with the tragic loss of Paul Keegan of BSUG. I was lucky enough to return to command the battery in 2003. At that point, Hohner had been replaced by Topcliffe, Soltau by Otterburn and Salisbury Plain. But it was Iraq again, back on Telic 2 as a brigade ops company, and a UN line tour to Cyprus. Like many of you, Jumbos was where I grew up. It was where I learnt my trade as a gunner. Ewan McCauley, I remember telling me what the front and the back of a gun was. As a command post officer under Joe Gannon and Tojo, God knows how I survived with tuition like that. And as a forward observation officer. But more than that, it was the people and the collective experiences I had with them, indeed with many of you in this room, that made me the person I am today. Truly formative years as a young man. All of us gave some of our best years to 137 Battery, but in return, we took away memories that we will cherish for the rest of our lives. Jumbos has given us friends. Not the fair weather friends we might meet in City Street, but mates for life, however infrequently we meet. And Jumbos, first and foremost, has given us family. Like everyone, it's wonderful for me to see so many familiar faces here tonight. We've served together, been to war together, got drunk together, and sung the Battery song together. And I look forward to a couple of you freeing the moths from your pockets at the bar after this. Recently, I had to get a new battery plaque off Callum. Both of my plaques, both the field battery plaque and the battery plaque, have been lost in our recent 14th house move. And I asked one without the date scroll on it. Not least because it saved me a couple of quid. But yes, 137 Battery might not be in the Royal Artillery's current order of battle. But forget 2015, because the battery is alive and well, with all of us here and all of those other proud Jumbos who couldn't make it here tonight. So with that, it just leaves me to ask all of you to join me in a toast. If I had a glass of wine. Thank you so much. Thank you. The Java family. Forever. Thank you very much indeed.
On the 26th of June, Steve and Callum took part in the Black Mountain Trail Running Marathon Challenge. Of 800 starters, they were among the 340 who completed the course, and the money was split between the 137 Old Comrades Association fundraiser for the Battery Standard and the First Light Trust charity. 3 members of the First Light Trust were invited to our evening do to receive a cheque.
£1,137. Won the Jumbos.
Callum, you join us. Let's get Steve going.
Steve!
Steve! Price, arse up here now. Move! This is how fast he went up the hills.
Steve, good in.
Come on next time. Oh, that's amazing. I know. So much.
Okay, guys, straight at the Perfect. Big smiles, guys. Thank you.
Good.